I just watched Ahsoka episode 3, and here's my honest opinion about this episode. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I'm just gonna be upfront and honest about this one. It felt more like a bit of a filler episode. Yes, there was some really cool stuff and nice moments within this episode, and the quality of it was really, really nice. It just nothing really happened. They just kind of like got there, and that's basically it. I do think this episode set up the next episode really nicely with them arriving and then it basically ending, but I feel like this episode could have been a bit longer. Maybe the actual fight with Balin's troops in the forest, and then once they finally meet Balin there, that's where the episode could have ended. Other than the length, I really enjoyed this episode. Don't get me wrong, it's still like an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's just not a 10 out of 10 like the first 2 episodes were. My absolute favorite moment is Ahsoka outside in space, slicing ships with her lightsaber and deflecting the blasters from the actual ships fighting them. It was unreal. Definitely felt like something Anakin would have done. And I even said this during our watch party. Felt like Anakin would have done that, and it was fantastic to see. There were also some really nice moments between Ahsoka and Sabine while training. I had always wondered what Ahsoka would be like as a Jedi Master and actually training a Padawan. Now that I finally get to see it, I absolutely love it, and I think they're kind of nailing the way that character would train in my head. A big surprise to me was that they made Mon Mothma Chancellor of the New Republic. I thought it would be Leia, so I was kind of excited. I thought they were going to put Leia in the show, but they didn't, and that's fine. But Mon Mothma as Chancellor is a really interesting choice. I'm really curious to see where that goes. By the way, I hate that one senator that was with her. And it just kind of seems like Hera is going to be taking a backseat on this one. I think she's going to end up going against the New Republic and still helping Ahsoka out to find Thrawn and Ezra. But it's a really interesting point in the show at the moment, because I do feel like this was just kind of like a filler and setup episode. They're also making it really seem like the New Republic is just kind of brushing off the Empire since they won the war. But there's obviously still a very real threat with people even revolting against the New Republic who are working for them. So it strikes me as really strange and odd that the New Republic isn't taking that threat seriously, and especially since it's a general telling you this. I've also been waiting for Jacen Syndulla to show up, and I'm so glad that he did. You could just see the way that she looked at him, and you could just see on her face that she saw Kanan. We also got a really good look at the live action Purrgil, which are the star whales as they call them in the show, and they look fantastic, and I cannot wait to see where they actually jump to in the unknown regions, because that's where Thrawn and Ezra are going to be. The best thing about seeing Ahsoka actually train Sabine is her conversation with Huyang afterwards, because she talks about how the Jedi used to train versus how she's actually training, and Huyang says it's definitely not typical Jedi training, which I really like, because she wasn't trained under typical standards, and she's definitely not going to treat her Padawan with typical standards. I think the way Ahsoka's training and the way she talks about it is exactly what the Jedi Order should have been. She even points out that the Jedi failed. Again, that raises the question about the sequels, but we won't even get into that. This is going to be a bit of a shorter review, obviously, because this episode was, I felt, extremely short and way too short, but it's still like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Still a really good episode, just not a whole lot happened to actually progress the story. Obviously, this is just my opinion, so if you feel very differently, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your all's opinions. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe and drop a like. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.